All right, so just to recap what we covered in today's live stream. So we have been waiting for the dollar index to move to the downside, and finally today it looks like it's happening. Like that was our prediction. Price is reacting from a really good level on the left side. And if you are looking at the daily candle, it's about to be the first engulfing bearish candle that you have, breaking below and perhaps closing below yesterday's daily candle, which many people are going to look at this candle and perhaps turn bearish from here. We don't really just look at price action like that. We are looking into more detail to see what's going on within the structure. So opposite to what you had on the euro dollar is that dollar index still managed to have this extreme in here is still fresh. Euro dollar reacted for me today with the news, right? So today we had finally some important news, not just in the US, but also in Europe and in UK. You had manufacturing and services PMI. So it started with negative news in France, then positive news in Germany, and then kind of neutral news, slightly negative in the UK, and quite positive news in the US, with unemployment claims also coming out better than expected and back within that range of 220 to 340 that we have been looking for the most recent data that we got, right? So again, there was volatility with the news. Tomorrow is going to be basically a non-event aside from retail sales in Canada, and that allowed actually for dollar index to move to the downside. Basically, we have this structure here that you're looking to fill, starting from these lows, and then potentially can even go further down. But for tomorrow's session, I'm going to be looking for potential opportunities within this range. I'm a little bit more bearish bias at this point in here, so I want to see price getting a little bit closer to the highs. It can be from there, or it can even fake out the highs as well before moving to the downside. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on the euro and so on. Euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollar, and so on. It's basically the opposite. Like again, euro dollar already made a really big move to the upside. It was a perfect reaction during the news this morning, reacted perfectly from the extreme at the lows, and now it's just continuing to move to the upside. Basically, if you're looking at the euro index, for example, you can see how strong the euro index looks like after reacting from those lows on the left side in here. Find today is actually gaining a lot of momentum, and you can see that across our euro pairs, is euro dollar, euro yen, euro pound, and so on. Right, that's an interesting move in here. So we'll see now euro dollar. This may be the bottom for now on euro dollar. I don't really see the need for price to retrace or to come back to the lows. If it happens, perfect. Maybe there's new opportunities to look for longs in there. Pound dollar is not as strong as the euro at this point. Again, the data it was also not as good. So we'll see. It still needs to break a high, which may happen maybe even today. But there's maybe a little bit more of a play, and I could still see even pound dollar eventually to create new lows from where it is. But there's also an opportunity to look for a long within this low. So that's something also that I'll be looking for. Euro pound, in this case, I'm still in the trade, so I'm still looking to see if price actually managed to break to the upside. So I'm long from the lows. Again, euro pound sometimes, or most of the times actually, is just trading in a range. So again, I'm okay with that. I'm expecting that. So I don't have the wrong expectations for this move on euro pound, but I'm bullish. So let's see if price actually managed to break these recent highs, continue to move a little bit more to the upside. Dollar CAD also is at a good level, it's creating new highs, but it's in a compression move. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be more sell pressures as price is getting closer and closer to the highs on the left side. And what else? The yen pairs actually had a strong move on the yen index, which had a strong move to the downside on the yen pairs. Basically, all of them feel the range that we were looking for. And now I'm curious to see what's going to happen next. Like, again, if you have euro yen, dollar yen, and so on moving back closer to the highs, there's maybe an opportunity to look for new sales. It's something to bear in mind in terms of the yen index. I'm curious to see how price may react around this structure, and eventually that's a little bit of the play that I'll look for. Eventually for price to pick out this low, getting into the demand zone, and perhaps moving to the upside. Like, I would like to see something like that, even at the bottom in here. It would be nice to see. And then in terms of the US indices, we are in a range today. So yesterday it was a good correction, or basically this morning was a good correction to the upside. Price just found some level of resistance in here, and now basically in a range. We'll see if it's going to continue to move further down. We did manage to break below these lows on the S&P, so perhaps you can have a little bit more of a move to the downside, but price could also retrace a little bit more into the highs before moving to the downside. Nasdaq quite similar. Okay, you may have not yet filled the full range in here that you're looking for, or the spice, but price kind of reacting nicely from that level. Again, from the highs there's maybe some opportunity. Dow on the opposite side actually just made another leg down and is getting really closer a little bit to the target that you're looking for as well. And DAX basically just respected from one of the levels that you predicted yesterday, and perhaps we could continue to move to the downside. We did manage to break below those lows, so I'm still a little bit more bearish on the DAX, but now it could range a little bit between these two levels until price breaks some structure as well. Gold corrected a little bit. Silver actually made another leg down after the break of the low as well. That's something that we're looking for. And oil, it just continues to be within this range. It made a new high, but is back into the range. And again, I would like to see oil getting a little bit closer to the lows before potentially looking for another long that has been between my bias, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm just going to be waiting for that opportunity to go long on oil. So that's basically it. Tomorrow is Friday, so enjoy your last day of the week. Even if you have a positive week or a negative week, just stay disciplined within your own trading. With that being said, guys, I'll see you again on Sunday. If you are new, feel free to subscribe, feel free to join, feel free to share any trading ideas that you have for us to analyze the market together. With that being said, thank you very much, guys. We got it.